Hi, I'm Lisa of Simply Bowen Therapy in Sydney. What I'm going to be presenting to you today is my blog on fascia. A few months ago, I was writing a blog about the nerve receptors that are in play in Bowen therapy. And many of these nerve receptors reside in the fascia just under the skin. I was looking at delving into more detail in the fascia as I was writing that blog, but fascia is so fascinating and there's so much going on with it that it really does warrant a blog of its own. So this video here, I will be pretty much reading my blog to you as we go into some more detail. Enjoy. Okay, so what is fascia? Look, in the most simplest of terms, fascia is connective tissue. It is a fine fabric of soft connective tissue that forms a network through the entire body. It resides under the skin. It forms a sheath around muscles and a sheath around a group of muscles. It envelops your organs and keeps them in the system, and it surrounds the brain, the spine, and the peripheral nerves. It is a framework that is protective of muscles and organs, and it provides the body with both stability and its ability to move. Some people consider it to be the glue that holds us together. So what's fascia actually made of? Fascia is like a three-dimensional fabric of fibers and gels made of three main parts: collagens, elastin, and a substance that's referred to as ground substance. The most predominant material in there is collagen. The collagen fibers are strong and they form tightly woven bundles to create a really fibrous tissue. Elastin is a type of fiber that's able to stretch and recoil. It provides much of the stretchiness that's in some fascia, especially some areas of the skin, the ear, and some ligaments where you need that elasticity. But also key to this system is this watery gel referred to as ground substance. The material provides lubrication to the collagen fibers as well as shock absorption in the body. Think of synovial fluids in joints and in bursa. That's the ground substance. It contains a substance called glycoaminoglycans, bit of a mouthful there, which includes a substance that you will have heard of in skincare commercials, hyaluronic acid, and a few others. Together, they form a network that's both strong and flexible. In traditional medicine, fascia has often been considered as inert stuff, but we've since learned that it is far more than just a coating for the muscles and the organs. It's found to contain very fine blood vessels, and we know it contains sensory nerve receptors. And those nerve receptors come into play with Bowen moves. They respond to manual pressure with gentle stimulation linking the entire body through the fascia to the autonomic nervous system. If you'd like to know more about nerve receptors, then head over to the website because I have had another blog on nerve receptors. Now, when fascia is healthy and hydrated, it's soft and it's pliable. It's able to move and glide without restriction and has the ability to stretch. Healthy fascia helps to maintain good posture, and the fascia within that body is then in a good tensional balance, ensuring everything is where it should be. The body's flexible, it's able to move well as those muscles are able to glide across each other. However, the fascia can change when the body experiences damage or trauma of some kind. This damage might be a physical injury, such as surgery or inflammation, but it can also change with a lack of activity or the cumulative effect of some habitual poor posture. Now, the ground substance in fascia is something that changes constantly based on what the body needs. Use it or lose it is a bit of an appropriate term really for the ground substance in fascia, as that ground substance tends to dehydrate and therefore thicken in response to trauma or inactivity in a particular area. So what does that mean? As the ground substance thickens, that means that friction between the muscles increases. Those muscles cannot glide over each other as easily as when the fascia is healthy. That area can become a source of internal tension within the body, with muscles requiring more effort to overcome that friction. The body starts to feel stiff and definitely has trouble moving more easily. Now, with time, that stiffness in one place can prevent other parts of the body from moving smoothly, thus causing more friction and tension in other parts of the body. So what if we look at an example in a minute? All this fascia forms a big fabric through the body. It's like a big giant fibrous suit that's interwoven all over our muscles and our organs. What if we imagine that our fascia is an actual suit at the moment, or, in the example I'm about to show you, a shirt?
Let's imagine our fascia is a shirt for the moment. Try to lift your arm. You'll probably find that the whole shirt moves. The sleeve moves up the arm and the bottom hem moves up your side. And when you return your arm, the shirt will largely return to its original position. Healthy fascia works a lot like that. When the arm moves, other parts of the body are also moving in unison. But what if that shirt hem was tightly tucked into your trousers? The hemline not allowed to rise or move. Can you move your arm freely? Is it able to lift easily? Or is the fabric below preventing full movement? Fascia moves and responds in a similar way. And when fascia is restricted somewhere, the impact may be felt elsewhere.
Okay, so if we apply that shirt example to a real life scenario, often if an arm is not moving freely, probably the shoulder is being blamed. Pain might be being felt in that shoulder, and so that's when many people expect their treatment to be focused. But think about that shirt. What if the problem was not actually coming from the shoulder, but from the hip? Would treating the shoulder help the problem and give that arm more mobility? Or would treating the hip perhaps give better results? Are we better to treat the cause of the problem or the effect? Now, how does this all work with bowen therapy and body work? Now, we know that bowen moves influence the body through the fascia. Most people who've had bowen realize that the sensations that they feel in their body, whether that be tingles, warmth, coolness, are often felt in a different part of the body to where the moves were done. And those actually often gave a clue to where the body is feeling restricted. Now, through the work that's been documented in anatomy trains, there's some commonly seen patterns and lines of fascia being recognized. Trauma in one particular area can result in lines of pull, and those symptoms can be seen somewhere else. It explains how someone who's spoken with me has had a sore knee months after untreated whiplash. It can explain how someone has developed a dowager's hump in the years following bunion surgery. Now, those fascia lines are used by many bowen therapists to link the area the client is known to have a problem with other areas in the body that the therapist sees or feels is restricted. Some of those interesting impacts of bowen treatments where moves impact somewhere else in the body make a whole lot of sense when we understand these fascia linkages. Those lines that are running through the body can explain how work done on the shoulder blades has had someone's hamstrings let go. It can explain how focusing on rebalancing the pelvis has allowed a shoulder to go back to the correct location. And it explains how work that's done on the jaw can help return the rest of the body to upright. The fascia is wonderful stuff when the body moves freely, but when restrictions are felt, treating the site of the pain may not be the solution. The problem might actually lie elsewhere. Some of my clients are kind of almost shake their head. They know what I'm going to say. It's all connected. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my first video on my blogs. So this one was about fascia, and I look forward to doing more in the future.